Once again, good evening, everyone. The board is now reconvening into open session, and time is 5:48. Okay. Please remember that the items do not have to be taken in order as it has been listed. And thank you for joining us tonight, and ask to please turn your cell phone to the silent mode. And as we are waiting for Dr. Groman, Superintendent, Mr. Burton, it's your turn to give us report and announcements.
Yes, sir.
We can wait.
Okay.
You have enough for us here, we can go ahead.
Okay. Quite a few things, so I will go ahead and get started. First of all, we have 16 Nacogdoches High School CTE students received $500 scholarships to the Ocean Corporation earlier this month during the Texas Rice Festival welding competition at Lee College in Baytown. The Ocean Corporation is an underwater diving and welding school in Houston. During the competition, 12 NHS students passed a visual inspection on their work, earning an industry-based certificate from the American Welding Society. This is great work, and it links closely with our continued emphasis on the workforce development both here locally and at the state and national level. So congratulations to welders, and if y'all have never seen it happen, welding underwater is not exactly an easy thing to do. So kudos to them. Some more students from our CTE department did well over the weekend at the Piney Woods Fair with their animal, mechanical, and floral projects. Several students saw their projects make sale as well. We had some first place winners, including in floral design, breeding rabbits, and several blue ribbons in mechanical projects, and a strong showing in the market goats. These students put a lot of effort and time into these projects that serve as an outstanding learning opportunity to how to care for an animal, plan out a project, and develop a successful business model. And I will tell you from experience, having a pen of chickens one time for one of my kids, that it's not for everybody. I will just say that. Don't think it's easy. So, once again, Japanese students from Ukuakan Junior High are visiting McMichael Middle School this week. This is our annual resumption of a long-standing relationship with two schools in Japan that started back in 1993. The students stay here for a couple of weeks with families of McMichael students, and then next month, students from the Umami City Public School will be here. And in May, students from McMichael will visit Japan on a return trip. This is an incredible opportunity for our students and their counterparts from Japan to experience other cultures. It is truly a learning experience that you can get nowhere except Nacogdoches ISD. I will add that part. October is Principal Appreciation Month, and I do want to take a moment to express, I'm not even going to read off of this, to express my sincere thanks to our principals, all of them. That is a job like no other, kind of like underwater welding, except you don't get to breathe. And so a lot of times they'll go in and they're working tirelessly all day, and every day's a new day, so you never know what you're going to experience. But I just appreciate the fact that they're that front line for us with parents, with students, with staff, holding the line and doing the things on campuses that need to get done. So for those, a couple that I see here, thank you very much for that. Nacogdoches High School Golden Dragons Band will perform at 8:15 Saturday at the Region 21 Marching Contest at Longview's Lobo Stadium. The Dragons are one of 5 Class 5A schools participating in the competition. Results from the Class 5A contest and the 6A contest will be announced around 10 p.m. that night. The Dragons have a long string of first-rated divisions going into regional contest, and the band has been looking great during its halftime performances at the football game. So good luck, Dragons, on Saturday. And speaking of football, our varsity Dragons are now 5-1 on the season and 2-0 in District 7 5A play after last week's win at Hallsville. That is 4 in a row, and it's Nacogdoches High School's best start since 2013, when the Dragons began the year 6-1. Tomorrow night at Dragon Stadium, Nacogdoches will host White House with a very strong chance, I'll add, to extend that winning streak. So let's go Dragons. You may have have seen social media posts about our Be Legendary staff members as I've gone around the district making presentations to our nominees. These nominees are coming from principals and supervisors around the district, and I instructed them to single out teachers or staff who represent an ongoing and long-standing commitment to do the right thing day after day, week after week, and semester after semester. I'm going to be doing some more of these throughout the year as we continue to emphasize and acknowledge that employees who make this district are better because they are here. And again, I want to tell you, legendary is not one thing that you do. It's the little things every day that you do, as far as working with a child or working with a staff member or just coming to work every day with a smile on your face and trying to make a difference. And years of that is what makes you legendary. So, and then we'll segue, speaking of legendary, this is the final board meeting for Ralph Rue to be serving as our district's Director of Facilities and Construction. I see you out there, Mr. LaRue. I really hope that we can get you up here one more time at the podium to give some type of report, because you always have some amusing anecdotes, and you're always such a smileful, cheerful person. But anyway, all of those presentations that he made to the board, and he was here, I was here with y'all before when Ralph was here. I think when Ralph came on, I was here. And so I will just say, first of all, he's going to have a retirement session at 3 p.m. on October 30th. It's going to be at the District Support Center. But I wanted to say that it's truly been an honor to have you work for us. I know that you did a lot with a little for many years, and then you did a lot with a lot the last few years. So we are very blessed as a district and as people to have been a part of your journey and workforce and consider you a friend. So thank you, Mr. LaRue, for everything you have done. And just so you know, because so the lights are doing a show just for you right now. This is just so you know, you are still welcome to come to any board meeting you would like to, but it will not be in an official capacity. So thank you, Mr. LaRue.
Ralph, everything Mr. Burton said times 10. Okay. Now we are moving to reports. Actually, we move into public comment. We have not received anyone to address the board. However, those who are interested to address the board in the future meetings, the instructions of how to sign are included on the meeting notice. And just a reminder, every person has 3 minutes time to address the board. Now moving to report, business office, starting with business office report, Mr. Ben Eberle, Chief Financial Officer.
Yes, sir. President Neermond, President Neermond, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Burton. For the business office reports, this is just our standard reports that we give every month. In addition to, if there are no questions on the actual reports, I kind of have some informational items for the board for upcoming things that are coming down the pipe, just so y'all are made aware prior to our future meetings. But I'll entertain any questions about the business office reports if there are any.
I personally don't have any questions.
Okay. Really just two, oh, sorry, apologize.
I'm sorry, I did want to ask, and I should have told you this already, to touch on the donations that are going to be listed in
Yes.
consent. Okay.
We'll start with those first.
Sure.
Those are under consent, but we just want to recognize the donations of our wonderful community to our schools. Just to touch on those, NHS received cupcakes and snack pretzels from Freedom Freeze Dried Foods. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. For homecoming. And we also received cakes from Grando Baking Company for homecoming. Both of those for the student council, I believe. Also, some things to touch on for the business office. We are in just knee-deep in our annual audit. That normally would come to the board in November. However, we are still shooting for that. TEA recently released a TAA to the administrator address. today at 4:45. That basically said, with the government shutdown and the OMB not addressing some single audit requirements for our auditors, they're pushing back the deadline for all school districts with a fiscal year for us, because it's a quick turnaround for us. So that being said, and compounding, TEA is introducing a new audit portal. It's a very compounding thing. All that being said, the new deadline is February 27th of 2026. I had meetings with our auditors on Tuesday, and we are still shooting for our audit to be completed by November. We are 90% complete, and we're just going to keep pushing. And whenever, if it's ready for the board in November, what we'll have to do is we'll have to present a draft. The board will not be able to certify the audit, but we will have final numbers in essence. So just wanted the board to be aware of that. Also, next month, we're going to push to replace some of our fleet vehicles. As you know, we partner with Enterprise, and we haven't really utilized the system as we should, but it's been a big thing. It's a new thing. So all that being said, we have roughly 16 vehicles that we're looking to replace. Those ranging in years and miles. I think the oldest one that we have is a 1999 F-250 or something like that for maintenance. So just think we have that rolling around the road, and it's time. So the financial impact for that, just wanted the board to be aware. We are looking at a 5-year cycle for these vehicles. The estimated annual amount for the remainder of this fiscal year will be roughly $80,000. That's not including any of the sales of those older vehicles. Granted, some of them are older, so we won't receive as much back, but essentially year over year, we're looking at roughly $160,000 a year for these 16 vehicles. If you think that's kind of the equivalent of 3 to 4 vehicles a year, full price. So in essence, we're essentially turning over 3 vehicles, so it kind of works out in the wash. Not to mention, with these vehicles, we will have all that cost is also included for the maintenance program. So we're able to just go and get general maintenance, oil changes, windshield wipers, all of that. All of that cost is already included. Our employees just have to go to an approved vendor and show them the card. So as far as I know, we do that now, and it's a pass-through program, and I haven't heard any complaints. So, but happy to entertain questions on either of those topics if the board has any.
A question, board? Okay. No? If not, we move into item B, which is delinquent tax report. Again, Mr. Eberlein, you passed the buck to someone else, no?
I forgot I was back to back. I apologize. So tonight we have we usually do it annually, our delinquent tax collections report. Mr. Patrick Woods from Purdue Brandon, and I can't remember the rest of it. Purdue Brandon is here for the presentation. I'll hand it over to him. Yes.
Mr. Burton, board, thank you for having me. It's always good to come. I love coming to Nacogdoches ISD and being a part of the team. And so every year I do like to come and give you just a little quick update on where we're at on delinquent tax collections. And I'll try not to put you to sleep, but we do have some substantive information to talk about, and I'll get through it as quick as I can. Here's our team. Of course, we're based out of Tyler. I have 3 attorneys, and I have 2 directors on the property value study. I also have an office here in Nacogdoches, and I just this week got it finally staffed with 2 new employees. Good. And that has been 2 years coming because the CAD flooded, as y'all may remember. And so we finally are back up and running, and I'm so thankful to have it fully staffed now. So this is our team in Tyler and here in Longview. Of course, you know who we are. We've been around since 1970. doing one thing. We collect delinquent government receivables for counties, cities, and school districts. We've represented Nacogdoches ISD now for almost our 4th year. So we've been in the county for a very long time, but a short period here with the school district. Certainly looking forward to showing you the success we've had. I'm not going to go through all of our mission values and core values, but they are very important to our law firm. And I will only mention one: people first. Look, we often reach out to delinquent taxpayers on not their best day. We understand that. But we represent Nacogdoches ISD in everything that we do. So we talk to these folks with compassion, with fairness, professionalism, and we really do try to work with the people that owe the debt to the school district. And we try to be respectful in every way that we can when we do that. So that's part of our core values. Let's get into some of the substantive material here. So this is all pre-litigation. So as you know, on July 1 every year, I get the previous year's delinquent taxes. And I start working through that delinquent tax roll. I don't want to file a bunch of lawsuits against folks right off the bat. I want to try to work with them. I want to try to initiate phone calls, letters, as you see here. Sometimes they tell us, hey, I'm sorry, Mr. Woods, I've had to file bankruptcy. Okay, that's fine. We can work with that. So bankruptcy court in Tyler, Texas is in my building, in my office, so I file in at bankruptcy court. And I will try to protect Nacogdoches ISD's interest in bankruptcy court. We're always going to try to collect however we can. But this is just all of the pre-litigation work that I've done since October of last year on your most recent delinquent tax roll. So this is litigation from the past 12 months, okay? So unfortunately did have to file some lawsuits, okay? This number is down from previous years because we really worked with Judge Davis, our district judge, to try to work through the backlog of cases. We purposefully did not file as many this year, and we tried to reduce to judgment the other 170 cases that we do have for the school district there at district court. Mr. Eberlin, we gave him about $60,000 in excess proceeds. When a property sells on the courthouse steps, oftentimes it sells for over the amount that we're asking. I mean, there are people buying up these properties in the city. And so when that happens and there's money left over, of course, we give it right back to the school district if we can. So I sent him a few checks a few weeks ago, about $60,000. So this is what has happened in litigation. I do anticipate in the next 12 months, you're going to see that lawsuits filed number clip up. It's time to get ramped back up and let's get going again now that we've cleaned it up in district court a little bit. Okay, let's stop here and let's really think about what we've got in front of us. So on June 30 this year, I stopped collecting the 2023 delinquent taxes, right? Because on July 1, I got all the 2024 delinquent taxes. So 2023 ended on June 30, and I collected, it was turned over to me about $1 million, $900,000 to $1 million, and I was able to collect in the first 11 months $424,000. And then we continued to collect the years before that, and we collected about $677,000. So in 2023, that's what the numbers looked like. Now in July 1, let's flip over to the right here. July 1 of this year, I got all of the 2024 taxes. That turnover amount was right at $1 million, okay? And so far, since July 1, here we are in October, I've collected $314,000. So about 33% of it, okay? Always our benchmark is to get to that 60% on that turnover year. So I'm halfway there. I'll have until June 30 to get to that mark. So that's where we're at. And you need to know these numbers, okay? That way, next year when I come back and you say, well, Mr. Woods, did you hit your mark or not? You know what to ask me. This is something I've added new this year, but I think it's very important, okay? And I don't want you to get shocked by the numbers, but I think it's transparent to show you your entire delinquent tax roll. And I broke it down for you here in a new chart that I'm using. So on the left-hand side, we have a pie chart, and I've broke it up, your entire delinquent tax roll, into different categories of where it lands, okay? And on the right side, I've broken it down by dollar values and the number of properties. So let's take the right side first, and I want to spend 2 minutes here because I really do think this chart is important. On the right side, where we have it broken down in the dollar range, please understand that 77% of your delinquent tax roll is under $1,000. I would never file a lawsuit on something like that because you're piling on the cost to these folks that we feel like if we can get them into a payment agreement, that's a healthier way to do it than piling on a lawsuit. So 77% of your delinquent tax roll is under $1,000. 90% of your delinquent tax roll is under $2,500. So what we have here is a delinquent tax roll that's made up of many, many small accounts. The big accounts are an anomaly. There is one that's out there. But the most of these are small accounts. And I just want to draw your attention there, that I'm sending out a new campaign of letters and phone calls to try to address these smaller accounts, because this is a lot of money that's sitting out there, but it's in small increments, okay? So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. On the left-hand side, the pie chart, I've got over $500,000 in bankruptcy court that I'm trying to collect for you. Who knows? I may get pennies on the dollar, but eventually I will get something resolved there. We've got about $500,000 in litigation in district court, and then you see it broken down. The pre-lit, that's a big number because there's some things happening, some bigger accounts out there. But that pre-litigation, of course, we're actively working, and we're trying to work with the delinquent taxpayers. But, you know, all that added up, it's a pretty big number, and we've got to tackle this. And so when I come back next year, we really need to look to see how we did here, because there's some money out there for the district. But we're doing everything that we can, and I'm throwing the kitchen sink at it to try to collect it. So this is new, and I hope you like this, because it kind of made sense to me. Of course, love working with you guys. I thought I had a slide here. We did the convocation again this year. Want to be a big sponsor of that. We're always happy to help the school district. If there's any way that we can continue to help you, we would love to do so. That's our office at downtown Tyler. If you're ever down there, please come and see us. But I hope this was substantive. I hope that you got some information out of it. But I think it's important that we come every year and talk about it, even though it's, again, 98% of your taxpayers do pay their taxes. I deal with the 2% that don't. It's a small sliver, but it's an important sliver. So,
I wanted to thank you, Mr. Woods, for your competence, your cooperation, and your compassion. This is very important. We're in a new age here of showing respect to people, but also the money we're collecting are for our students. We're not being punitive. We need to have money so we can educate our kids.
100%.
So you're part of that. So actually, I think that it's within my means to name you an honorary dragon while you're in our building.
I'll take it. That's correct.
So you might even get, well, there's a little dragon that goes in there. Nobody's got that on. Oh, there's one.
Great.
So
Thank you, Doug.
that's what you get from that. But,
Thank you
But
so
no, it's sincerely, we thank you for your extra efforts to serve our children and this community. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And it was really great to meet some of y'all at Tassie. That was a really, really nice time. Thank you for visiting with us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Burton, no more questions?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next item is item C, which is TASA and TASB Conference Delegate Assembly. As you all recall, Reverend James Irvin and Ms. Brady were a representative of NISD, and I believe Reverend Irvin has a short introduction.
Absolutely. I had the honor of serving as the district delegate at the 2025 TASB Delegate Assembly and Convention, which was held in Houston during the Texas Education Convention for this year, 2025. And joining me were alternate delegate Ms. Cheryl Brady, and also Dr. T.C. Gorman who attended on behalf of our district. During the assembly delegates elected new TASB officers for 2025 and 2026. We also approved a new mission statement, bylaw changes, and re-imaged the cornerstone principles, and updated the 2024 through 2026 advocacy agenda. Highlights included recognition of Dr. Roosevelt Nivens, Lamar Consolidated Independent School District, as the Superintendent of the Year, Daniela Lopez Valdez, Brownville Independent School District, as Advocate of the Year, and Colorado Independent School District as the Outstanding School Board for the year. TASB also announced a new campaign, which is Our Future is Public, celebrating success stories in public education, and introduced the TASB Connect, a new online platform for trustees. The upcoming TASB events include the Conference for Administrative Professionals in October, fall legal seminars in November, the Federal Advocacy Conference in February, and the governance camp, which will be held in March. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. Okay. Now, we move to item D, which is CIPA, which is Child Internet Protection Act. Mr. Michael Martin, compliant to internet safety protocols.
Thank you, President Norman, members of the board, Superintendent Burton. It is a privilege this evening to talk about the Children's Internet Protection Act and the measures that the district takes to keep our children safe on the internet. The Texas Education Agency, under the guidelines released by Federal Communications Commission, requires all school E-rate applicants seeking discounts for their internet access, internal connections, and basic maintenance services to publicly post notice of a board meeting to review the district's participation in the E-rate program. Any changes to the district's Children's Internet Protection Act policy will be reported in future years as required by TEA and FCC guidelines. Board, this goes hand in hand in conjunction with the policy that we're asking the board to review later in the meeting, FNC local, where the law passed in House Bill 6 was to limit or no telecommunications devices during the school day. Our policies, we changed them to reflect those laws. We changed the student code of conduct. We have changed the employee handbook. We have changed student handbook. And now we are looking at changing our acceptable use policy, which falls in this report here. We provided starting on page 23 of your board book, several attachments. We provided our new AUP as well as our new internet protection measures that we have in place and our CEPA compliance report. The district uses two primary programs, or appliances rather, to filter and block unwanted, obscene internet content from getting to our students, one being Bloxy and the other being JAMP. JAMP we use with our iPads and Bloxy with every other device. We filter and block quite a bit. I think Ms. Morris may have provided some statistics. I think at present count, we were up to about 5 million sites being blocked by just Bloxy itself. So there are new sites being created every day, as you all know, and some of them are not good for children. So our team does a great job of monitoring that and staying on top of it. We will be happy to answer any questions the board may have at this time.
I don't have a question, but just, I was surprised it says CIPA, the children below 17 years old, they call minor, 17 and above are junior, adult. You mentioned there's two companies that screen those, and are those paid for in advance, or are we paying it, or when they buy iPads, is already on the iPads?
No, so we do pay for those products and services when we actually, we buy those licenses in blocks. So say we need 459 licenses, the company may only sell it in a block of 500. So we will buy that block of 500, and each additional machine that we got in extra, we would have a license for.
And those restrictor, I call them, are also in my iPads and everybody else's iPad as well?
Yes, sir.
That's
They
great.
are.
Good. Folks, be careful.
Teacher, board, and students, we filter all of it. Yes, sir.
Okay. Next question I have, are we able to modify those information that they're giving us or another policies that they have? If NISD is able to modify those? And
Yes,
if they-
sir.
okay.
Yes, we are.
And when we modify, we have to report those, correct?
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
I have a question if you're done, if you're not done.
No, I'm done.
Okay, so I just want to make sure, or certain, all libraries and NAC ISD are compliant with this law.
100%, yes, sir.
Okay, I think that's important for our community to know that not just the students, what they carry with them home and at school, but our libraries where there's access to lots of information in there, that we are also compliant in that area.
Yes, sir, most definitely. Thank you.
Another question that came to my mind, result of my reading. Can any school request for a waiver?
A waiver, no, sir. They can request it, but it would be denied just because we have to comply with the FCC or the Federal Communications laws, which require us to filter and block if we're going to receive discounts on our bills.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, thank you.
All right. Next, we move to bilingual program annual evaluation. Presenter, Dr. Salcedo. The competent Dr. Salcedo.
Good evening, President Nierman, board members, and Superintendent Burton. This is the day when I have the pleasure to present the bilingual ESL migrant programs yearly report. In today's agenda, you will hear 5 things. Number 1, I would like to share with you the academic progress for English learners. Also, the extent into which our students are becoming proficient in learning English measured by the Texas English Language Proficiency Assessment System. Also, the number of students who have been exited from the bilingual and ESL programs. The professional development that we provide to support our second language acquisition, and also the bilingual education exceptions and ESL waivers that we just submitted to TA this year. Everything we do, it is based on federal law, which is Title III, Part A, that requires our school districts to provide support for emerging bilinguals, so then they can attain language proficiency, but also academic proficiency and achievement. Also, is a state law which requires school districts to provide bilingual programs for any language when we have a grade level with more than 20 students that speak the same language. I'd love to start with who our students are, and the name Emerging Bilinguals have changed a lot, but what I want to point out in this is that our students, even though we serve all of them, they are in different categories. The first one that we have at the top is the newcomer students, who are students who have recently arrived to U.S. schools. Along with that, they're going to qualify for immigrant students, which are also students who are new to our school districts, but they are not born in the U.S. schools and are between ages 3 to 21, and also that they have not been in any of our U.S. schools. The second one is our first generation. Those are our students, just like myself, who they got here to the U.S. when they were little, and they just kind of grow into the system. Our second and third generation would be like my kids or my grandkids who actually were born in the U.S., but because of culture, they actually learn Spanish or any other languages first. So then they actually become emerging bilinguals because they actually learn in a second language throughout their school years. Some of those students, it can be first generation, second or third, they become long-term ELs or emerging bilinguals, which means that our goal for every student is that they actually exit the support from our programs. And that our goal is for that to happen in 3rd grade. And for exiting, it requires 2 things. Number 1, that they show academic proficiency, which is passing their English STAR test or reading STAR test. And the second one is that they score advanced high in the English test, which is TELPAS. We also have another category, which is our refugee students, which those are students which, for any political reasons, either in their country or in the U.S., they had to stay between 3 months and 3 years in a refugee camp. The problem with our students is that we have to target not only the academic need, but also linguistic need, but also between 1 to 3 years of academic gaps, because while they're in refugee camps, they pretty much do not have any academic opportunities, or at least optimal academic opportunities. We also have another category, which is our migrant students, not to be confused with immigrant. Our migrant students are students who periodically throughout the year, they move with their families due to work, and they have to work in fields or things like that. So we monitor that very closely. This two slide shows our students and the programs that we have. We have bilingual programs. We have two-way and one-way. The program is actually the same. The only difference between two-way and one-way, it is that in the two-way, we have students, English learners or monolingual students who want to learn Spanish. That happens at TJR Elementary and two-way. And most of our students are placed in the ESO program, which is English as a second language. The other slide shows this year all the languages that we have recorded in our district. This one shows our student population right now, the different categories, the total number of emerging bilinguals, which that actually changes every week because we constantly get students. The migrant students, we have 7, immigrant students, 189, newcomer students, monitor students, the reclassified students, the ones that met the criteria last year, and our graduates. The next page shows our progression because it is important to monitor the growth of our students. We also like to mention actually the graduates just because you see that difference. But also the difference year to year when we compare the migrant students, immigrant students, monitor, and also reclassified students. Those are the exceptions and ESO waivers that were just submitted last week to TEA. The ESO waivers and exceptions are submitted to TEA for every ESO teacher or every teacher who do not possess an ESO certification or any teacher who is serving in a bilingual class who do not have a bilingual certification. Many of our teachers might have a certification, just a general, but in order to serve our students, they either need to have an ESO certification or a bilingual certification. This slide shows the grade levels and campuses in which we have dual language classrooms. We have that in pre-K, Mimosas, TJR all the way to 5th grade, and Bruce Quinn Jones all the way to 4th grade. This is the team that support our efforts to serve all those. I always like to say that emerging bilinguals are almost 1/3 of our total student population. And the team help us tremendously to look at compliance and services. And we do that through the Language Proficiency Assessment Committee, which help us to identify, provide specific supports for those students, monitor them, and help them achieve that exiting criteria. One other big impact that our department is in charge of is accountability, because along with STAR in academic proficiency or performance, we also have TELPAS, which is the language goals that we have for our students. So they go part to part, and we have to monitor both academic and linguistic proficiency of our students. This just shows the different areas that TELPAS test our students, which is the listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And they have like a composite rating, and our students can score from beginning, intermediate, advanced, or advanced high. And this is once again a reminder that for our students to exit the program, they need to score an overall of advanced high to be able to exit the program. This has a lot of numbers, but I tried to make it easy for you. So if you can just follow the circles, and it might be easier to look into your page, but the green circle shows the growth. In this, we want to compare the growth of within our emerging bilingual students, but also to compare how our students are doing when we compare them with monolingual students. But once again, if you can see, all the green ones show the growth. The yellow one shows degrees that range between 1 and 9, and the red shows any area in which our students have decreased more than 10 points from last year. Next slide shows the Texas English Language Proficiency Assessment System that we also monitor, and we looked at how our students are making progress in the different areas at the different campuses and where they are, whether they are beginner, intermediate, advanced, and advanced high. We always expect our newcomers, 0 to 3 years, to be within the beginner stage or intermediate. But as they move on into more years in the U.S. schools, we want them to move on from that intermediate and advanced. Many of our students stayed in the advanced stage. A lot of the times, it is not so much that they do not have the skills, it is a matter of actually showing, because the test is very rigorous. They ask the students to speak and be recorded, so it is very actually uncomfortable to be speaking and being recorded next to your friend or someone that you don't like. This one shows secondary. And one of the things that we do, the way that we monitor and support the campuses is that EO specialists meet with every emerging bilingual students every year. So we have student language goals. We sit down with them and we show them, this is what you did last year, this is what is your goal going to be next year. And we give them strategies so then they understand what do they need to do to be able to achieve their next stage. If they are intermediate, so then they need to go through advanced, but we want them to move forward. In addition, we have that support for teachers and staff, and we have different opportunities. Also, we have the different programs. We have Summit K-12 and Imagine Learning that supports us students specifically. We have different shelter instruction strategies, opportunities for teachers that have been scheduled throughout our professional development. We try to make them short. But, and we have the support from ESE Region 7. They also come and present. Also have individualized training by request and language interventions too. Those are the scheduled ones that we have throughout the year. We just had our first one, and our next one will be in November 3rd, which is our next professional development. On this ones, we not only have shelter instruction, but also provide opportunities for any of those teachers who are not certified to come and have a study session with Region 7 so then they can prepare for their test. Those are just some opportunities that we also provide our students to, our teachers to become ESL certified. We like to provide them with a study book. They also have the opportunity to take the test and take a district approved leave when approved by their principals. And those are, and also different opportunities for them to study. So we like to do that for them. We also have to comply with Title III, which is parent-family community engagement. We have monthly parent advisory committee meetings. We will have participate in Dia de los Muertos along with the Nacogdoches Public Library in 2 weeks. And we will also have partner with First Baptist Church and once again the Nacogdoches Public Library to celebrate the Day of the Child, which that's going to be on May 1st. And I'd like to finish with some pictures because thinking about Legendary is going to start with our little ones, and we're here because we want to serve our students. So these are just some pictures of what they get to do every day. And it's exciting because not only we get to see their linguistic growth, but also their academic growth. And it's not only the support for our students, but also for our teachers. I love to show this for the importance of iPads for translation support. One of the main things for newcomer students that have different languages is for them to have the opportunity to have comprehensible input. That means that they understand what they are seeing in real time, not having to translate. So I also want to take the opportunity to give thanks to Kirsten Morris, our technology director, because she has been very kind in supporting our program this year. This is a celebration of reclassification from Michael. We just had it, where we gather all the students who met the exiting criteria. We had cake and a certificate, and they have videos, but I'm not sure if they can play the videos. I don't know. Let's see, let me go back. Well, that kind of shows, Mr. Les, I wonder if you can play the video. There are 2 videos in there. No? I don't think he can see me. But anyways, I had the opportunity to have, and then all the students were really excited. And then on the other slide, they, every single one had to actually write a sticky note, a recommendation for their fellow friends, strategies on how they were able to pass or score advanced high. So all of those stickers are going to be used whenever we meet with them, the other ones this year. These are our bilingual staff, our bilingual teachers, bilingual aides, and everyone that supports our programs. And we ended up with, this is our goal, obviously, that our students get to graduate. Thank you very much for all the support that you always provide to our students and our department. I don't know if you have any questions.
Thank you so much. I know how difficult it is, and I tell you what, just having a family involved, that's the key for success. Thank you.
As an emerging bilingual myself, I have the question of how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time. How have I learned Spanish? One word at a time. Well, these emerging bilinguals have the opportunity to take something that's very complex and it's well organized and it has a strategy of different ways of learning and presented, and excellent teachers who are language teachers, but more than language teachers. They love what they do. If you go back 2 pictures, that picture, everybody's happy. Everybody with this job is happy. And you know what? Happy people have a good boss. Yes, and they like what they do. And so we can help each student every day improve one word at a time, one activity at a time, and we will see improvement in their ability to adapt to all the things they will face in, not just in school, but in their life. And we appreciate you and your group changing lives and making their lives better, where they can incorporate into this culture with mastery of English. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Dr. Salcedo, we really do appreciate all that you do, and we feel so lucky that you're here. Don't go anywhere. And again, it's another year where I want to thank you again for giving us the countdown of all the different languages that we serve. And I want to make a statement on the other end. I don't know that our community appreciates enough that if their child goes to NISD and they don't need help with languages, they're just the ordinary English speakers. This is how I felt as a parent. Because we have such a variety of different languages and cultures, my children got to be exposed to all of this. And so besides the academics that they are picking up in school, they're learning wonderful social skills and tolerance and appreciation for people who are different from themselves. I think that's something that no one else in the county can offer, what NISD offers in that realm.
You're
Thank you
exactly
for
correct.
all you do.
With all my heart, thank you.
Well said, well said.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, now we move into the consent agenda. Unless removed from consent agenda, all items will be acted on with one motion. If there's a board member who wishes to discuss an item, a consent agenda item separately, please indicate the agenda letter. It will be set aside for further discussion and a separate vote.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
A second?
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, now we are on discussion and action agenda. We have 7 items on the discussion and action agenda portion. A is there is not action resulting from the executive closed session. Therefore, we move into item B, consideration of and board action on superintendent's recommendation of professional personnel. I guess presenter is Mr. Zamani.
Appreciate that. Good afternoon and howdy, everybody. I'm excited to be here. President Neermond, members of the board, and Superintendent Burton. This item can be found on page 96 of your board packet. It is, if the board recalls, back in the summer, they redelegated sole hiring authority for contract personnel to themselves. In this case, this item is bringing forward recommendations for those contract positions as made by Superintendent Burton. The recommendation of administration is that the board approves the superintendent's recommendations for professional personnel, and this will probably be an item that you see monthly. Happy to entertain any questions.
Board, any question? If not, I ask for a motion.
I move to approve the superintendent's recommendation for employment of professional personnel.
Okay, I need a second on that.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item C is federally funded vendors and professional development, coaching, and consultation. Dr. Jolene Curley.
If I may speak to that, President Neermond.
Yes.
Good evening, President Neermond, Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Burton. This is just an updated list of our federally funded professional development, coaching, and consultation contracts. Just because you're approving this list does not mean that we are going to automatically contract with them, but it is a requirement based on our EDGAR regulations.
Okay, any question? Again, if not, I ask for a motion.
I move the board approve the updated list of federally funded vendors as presented.
I second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Again,
I said
carry.
aye. I don't know if you heard me.
I have big ears. Item D is consideration and approval of a contract with the Lauren, let me, Lauren Smith, physical therapist assistant. Ms. Kayla Hughes.
President Neermond, members of the board, Superintendent Burton. This is our physical therapist assistant that we contract with to serve our students who receive physical therapy per their IEP. And since her contract exceeds $55,000, I'm bringing it to you for approval.
Okay, well, people have any question?
I move that we approve the contract with Lauren Smith, physical therapist assistant, as presented.
I second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Item D is passed. We move to item E, appointment of School Health Advisory Council members and approve the meeting dates for 2025, 2026. Again, Ms. Kayla Hughes.
Okay, on the consent agenda form, I listed the 4 dates that we're proposing to have our SHAC meetings beginning in November. And then following page, I listed the membership that has been recommended. We have a few that are still pending that have not responded, but I list them as well and just put pending next to their names.
That's the same program we used to call SHAC.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Board, any comment, any question? If not, I ask for a motion.
I move that the board approve the appointment of the School Health Advisory Council members and the meeting dates for the 2025-2026 school year as presented.
I second.
Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next item is item F, consideration of board action on the first reading of revised local policy FNC, students' conduct and personnel, telecommunications, electronic devices. Mr. Michael Martin.
Thank you, President Neermond, members of the board, Superintendent Burton. The proposed revisions for FNCE local address student possession and use of personal communication and electronic devices on school property. This revision strengthens expectations regarding student possession and use of personal communication devices, clarifies our expectations, sets clear guidelines for confiscation and disposal, and requires annual reporting to ensure compliance with accountability. As I alluded to earlier, this is just reflective of the law, and we are just strengthening up our language here by putting it in board policy. It is recommended by TASB as well.
Okay. Any questions, comments? If not, again, I ask for a motion.
I move that the board approve the first reading of revised local policy FNZE, student conduct, personal telecommunications, and electronic devices.
I second.
Okay. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Item moves. Okay, item G is consideration of and board action on the district-wide radio system upgrade project. Again, Mr. Michael Martin.
Thank you, President Norman. If it pleases the board, Superintendent Burton, I would like to bring up a few folks to present with me this evening. Ms. Susan De La Rosa, who is our Director of Student Safety and Security. Ms. Kirsten Morris, who is our Director of Technology. Mr. Ralph LaRue, who is our Director of Facilities, and Cindy Smith. And Chief Joel Barton. And we don't have any principals with us this evening. Okay, all right. So I wanted to bring all these folks up because it takes a huge group of folks to put a proposal together that, like we're presenting this evening, and a lot of research. Albeit told, this project really started somewhere around 2023 when we started looking at a district-wide system of radios, campus-wide as well. So tonight, we are pleased to be standing before you presenting a proposal for your consideration. On September the 16th, the Nacogdoches ISD accepted TIP's proposal for the district-wide radio system upgrade project. The project includes an upgraded communications radio system installed at all school campuses and a new system at the District Support Center. This will facilitate an overall upgrade to the direct communication between staff members and each campus site, eliminating more dead zones. Further, this will allow the direct contact between campuses and the District Support Center in an emergency situation. This is something that we've really not had before, so we're excited to be proposing this. Each location will receive a repeater and antenna, and a total of 270 radios are going to be supplied. The project was procured through TIPS with Mobile Communications America. I will break down the project as follows. The mobile communications proposal was $257,327.79. A&E, or architect and engineer fees, totaled out to $12,500. And we built in an owner allowance and soft cost of $35,000 for a total project cost of $304,827.79 to be funded by $190,562.94 to be funded by the School Safety Standards Grant, and $114,264.85 to be funded through the general fund. We are here at your disposal for any questions the board may have. Thank you.
Mr. Martin, those communications devices communicate with within the district.
That is correct, yes, sir.
Also, are we able to connect with the first responders?
No, we're not. No. Different frequency.
Is there a key that you flip or switch, or there is?
No, sir. These are all inter-district for our campus administrators, as well as the district administrators at the District Support Center for emergency situations. So there'll be on a radio sitting there that we pick up.
And if I may, one of the things, don't confuse an emergency like a lockdown or something. We have a different system that will broadcast out. These are for our campus, if we have events or things happening that need to be known inside the district. These are not things that we're calling fire, police, whatever. That's an emergency situation outside of district. This is to make sure, as of now, let's say Mr. Fonzie's in the front part of Michael, and he's got somebody back in the back part of the 8th grade hall, he can now, on his radio, talk to them, whereas, after this, whereas currently he cannot. Same thing with Mr. Adams. We will have their ability to not be out on an island by themselves. They can actually talk to us and other people, but not to emergency. We have our, whatever it's called, different,
That's a whole different,
whole different system.
Whole
yes.
different system. Yes,
we're
sir.
just talking about inside.
That's
Correct.
Inside the house.
Yes,
The whole district.
yes.
The whole district.
Okay, if that's the case, any questions in response, I ask for a motion.
I move to approve the proposal from Mobile Communications America with the total project cost of $304,827.79.
All
I
in fa-
second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, with that, what?
I was about to ask, are we still waiting on some radios or something?
These
Not
Oh,
these,
those others?
from the other. Didn't we order some?
for, would it be Chief Barton's radios for the police?
We did order some? Oh, we already got them? Okay.
Good.
I thought we
Something
did.
I wanted to say is, there is room for expansion on this page. This was pointed out to me, so we could add, when we have other schools or other properties, we already have slots where we plug them in. So we're ready for expansion when needed.
Okay, any more questions? If not, we adjourn.
Thank you.
I got that out.
Reverend, if you get
Your announcement.
home,